jungle.
Hello, this is Podtopia, a podcast club held by the English Writing and Communication Center of the University of Macau. Each Wednesday, 12 UM students, together with the Writing Center tutors, will discuss and also share some of the podcasts they listened to in the past week. The topics include student life, mental health, and well-being, etc. This is Molly.
This is Kate.
This is Christina.
This is Stella. Stay tuned to our program.
Hi, Podtopia audience. Nice to see you back. In this episode, to start, we shared one worry we had recently, provided suggestions to each other, and also accompany each other to get it through. In the main forum, in the main stage, we talked about the psychological issues related to mental breakdown and self-trusting and emotional compatibility.
No, it's not a good choice. For me, there is nothing new. Sunset and sunrise as usual.
Must be something really important. And I think the biggest worry so far is like I'm going to have a midterm in this Friday, so I didn't do much preparation work for it. So after this section, I think I might go to the library and study, work really hard on it, so that to make sure I can get a kind of good grades before graduation. Yeah.
So question, are you 100% ready for your midterm? If you think you are, please raise your hand up. 100% ready. Nobody is. So you'll find out not everybody is 100% or two.
Because I don't have midterm.
Yeah. It's really hard to say that I can 100% ready for one thing. So just calm down.
I just finished my midterm. It's open book, so the very struggling thing for me recently is about the resume. I want to find a internship, and I'm writing the resume, and I found out that I can just outline the experience, but I don't really get what the HR really want for different job. Yeah. So I went to the E31, find a teacher. They helped me to write my resume.
Yeah. Another suggestion is that you can also come to EWCC. Give your CV to our tutor. We can also help you in that.
And for me, first I just think the my time is very limited, and I'm always very tired. I have many tasks to finish, but the time is very limited for me to finish them. Just like yesterday, I just fell asleep at 11 at 1 a.m. and I will wake up at 6 a.m. But I just to finish this, I need to go to finish another task, and too much, and maybe I cannot finish my essay. And there is a conference. There will be a conference, and I would like to write an essay to attend it, but maybe this time is very limited. So I don't know what to do. So maybe I must create something. It is a big trouble for me.
Yeah. From your speech, I just notified that you prefer to use maybe. Maybe actually it refers to something happen now. So maybe my suggestion would be you can just set a quite small goal. Just focus on one thing at first. Don't expect what will happen if I didn't do it.
Okay, thank you.
don't have midterm exams or something else, so I don't worry about this. But I have what confuses me is the balance between entertainment and my study tasks. Recently, we have our own tutors, and he gave me some suggestions about my final essay, and my tasks begin to very limited to very huge how do you say that very I suddenly I have a lot of books have to read for my essays, and I think I'm a person who don't control my time very well, so I'm a little anxious now. Yes.
I very understand.
I have a graduation thesis defense this afternoon at 1 o'clock. So I really nervous about it.
That's so great for you are here.
And my problem is also my procrastination because I have a lot of tasks to do, and I think after the second week of the podcast of procrastination, I can deal with some of my tasks, but I think there's still a main task about my study. So I think I just don't want to study. I don't want to prepare it. But I don't have a midterm, so I can have more time to prepare for. So that's my worries now.
Hi everyone. Sorry to interrupt today. So my name is Miranda. I'm a teacher at the ELC. I'm also the coordinator of the Writing Center. So thank you so much for joining us. I have heard a lot of good things. I listened to the podcast and I said today I have to come here. So I would like to share what worries me right now. You guys are having midterms, or if you are not having midterm, you're working on a lot of different things. I don't have midterms for my students. They do projects. This is the time when they are actually implementing their projects, and different groups has different projects. And I'm a little, I don't know if I should say worry, but I feel like I have already done my best trying to guide them to where they are. So their next step is they actually need to do it for other people. And I'm a little bit nervous. I wouldn't say worry, but I'm a little bit nervous as to whether or not they can pull it off, because that's not my control, really. Like some of the students are very gung-ho, meaning they're super excited about this and they will do it. You can see from them, some of them are just like, oh, why am I doing this? This is an English class. Why am I doing this project? But they won't say that, but I try to, looking at their faces, I try to imagine what they're saying. So yes, I'm nervous because I don't know what they will do, and it's not just them, because they're actually doing the project, so they will affect other people. They are going to post posters, they are going to post Instagram, promoting their projects, which in a way represents our class, right? If you have grammar errors, typos, and all sorts of weird things. So yeah, every semester at this time, I'm like trying to hold tight and see what they do, and usually they surprise me in a good way. So I'm trying to stay positive. Yes. Thank you, guys.
For me, the big thing that where can I live next term? Yeah, that's very that's very important, and I really don't know if I'm lucky enough to live in campus. And whether and then I choose Henqin or Macau. That's all. That's a really important thing. Next, another little thing is that I can't renew my visa to Hong Kong. because I can't finish it on machine, and I have to ask a manual service, but manual service ask 20 days. It means I can't have my re-entry permit card for 20 days. I can't because I have to go to school here. So that's a big trouble.
For me, I think I'm a person that is very easy go on nerves, and I think everything unsure would trouble me or would worry me, because okay, for example, as a master student, I still have a midterm exam of interpretation, which for me which is very difficult because I think my listening and speaking is not so good, so I'm afraid that I couldn't pass the exam. It's one thing, and the next thing is if everything is okay, the next term I will go to Brazil. But for me, my Portuguese, my listening and spoken Portuguese is not so good as well. And what is more is that the Brazilian speak Portuguese makes me sometimes difficult to understand. So I have to overcome these problems. But these problems still worry me very much.
So for me, recently, I feel I have many things need to do, like prepare for midterm, prepare for internship in summer or vacation trip plan. That's like we have many things to do, so that makes me upset or anxious to do that.
A bit stressful because I have 2 midterms on tomorrow. Not only the study, but also I have to prepare, have the preparation for private tuition as teaching and middle school student English.
For me, it's also midterm. I think the midterm time for me is very long. I have already finished 2, but also another 2 until March 21st. And the awful thing is one of them grades is give out, and before the exam, the students on the whole desk tell me, it's very difficult, I can't do it. But when it comes to the results, only myself do the bad job. Yes.
About me, I think even though I have midterm, but I'm not really worried about it because I think maybe many years later, and you reflect about this time, you think, it's just a quiz like that. Because now I remember my middle school or high school exam is really normal, and we don't have to worry about it. That is what I listen so many about worries about midterm. And for me, I think it's confused time of this year because I entered the college for the first year, and I especially went to University of Macau. So many choice is in front of me, whether I choose some program, exchange program, should I enter the honor college, and should I take a position of RA, that residential assistant, should I participate in this group or that association, or too many choice. The school give us so many freedom and many chance to to try to participate in, but it's too much and I don't know how to choose them because I want to try more, but time is limited, the energy is limited. Yeah.
Actually, you remind me of the poem I have read. It's called "The Road Untaken," written by Robert. And in this poem, he mentioned that actually the road untaken is much more attractive, but no matter which way you are chosen, you choose the right one for your life. Yeah, so just make a choice. It's hard to make a choice.
So I think this podcast this week is really suits me because I'm really very low emotion when I'm just listening to this podcast. For many years I have many trouble with many unpleasant with my family, and just last week I had a very severe quarrel with my mom, and it's really out of my expectation, and I'm already in university now and I'm away from home and I still can have a very big quarrel with them. Just last weekend I went back home, and it's not a very new reason, is that she always tried to control me, to spy on me since I'm very small. She would even placed a locator in my back, and wherever I go, she would ask me where, when, who, and everything, and I feel really stressed. And she still wants to make decision for me when I go to university and so on and so on. And just last week, I had very big quarrel with her, and I even don't want to come back home for months, and I'm now still in a quite cold war with her, and but I think I should be more independent, and also when I'm listening to this podcast, I'm trying to find some useful methods to get myself out of this low state. And until yesterday, I tried to talk with a very energetic, very positive person, and that really raised my spirits. And now I think I'm more become normal, and I would think of some ways to deal with the problem with my parents. Yes.
Okay, thanks for your sharing. Actually, I heard a lot of worries. Something I have encountered as well in the college, like the relationship with a family member, or always worry about my future. A lot of choices, or even like all my midterm, or my graduation, or defense, whatever. Then we will move to other solutions, and each of our tutors will lead one oral discussion, and the first one is going to be led by Chris.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much for your honesty in sharing your worries at the moment. And these are all valid emotions. I've heard positive emotions like being relaxed. I heard someone saying positive about the outcome of the project-based learning. And I heard someone said she's just relaxed and she has a feeling of being accomplished. And then from that, there are feelings of worries, feelings of fear, stress, anxiety, and nervousness. Again, these are all valid emotions. And this would lead us to the first podcast that was listed in the list of podcasts that we will listen to. The first podcast is about hacking our emotions with Dr. Laurie Santos. I heard that some of you heard this podcast, some did not. But for those who did not, just listen to the sharings maybe, and you can still share your insights after. So in the podcast, psychologist Ethan Cross, he was the guest in that podcast. He discussed the difference between managing and suppressing emotions. So reflecting on his discussion, how can understanding these differences help someone recover from a mental breakdown? And another question is, do you agree or disagree that managing emotion is more beneficial for long-term emotional health? So, oh yes, I can see a hand here.
Emotions like a wave, they come and they peak and they just pass. Like the passing might feel easier in quite short moment that maybe make us feel safe and feel comfortable, but it can build a pressure. But instead, stay with the feeling for minutes, and maybe sometimes we can say the timer if you want, and let it move through you like the emotion, and the emotion move through you, inside of you. And it's a kind of progress, like you are learning how to coexist with that kind of emotions, and it's helpful for rebuild our self-control, our self-trust, something like that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that sharing. So, what I can hear from you is learning how to coexist with your emotions. Yeah, and well, going back to Ethan Frost, he did mention about this as one way of managing emotions as well, understanding it and acknowledging it and coexisting with it. Yeah, any more sharings?
Well, okay. You first.
Yeah. I think we need to try our best to manage it, because I think emotion is a thing that we can control ourselves, and try our best to not let it was affected by others, by the environment. So let's try to maintain the good emotion every day and to every time, because I think a person like fell down emo or other depression, it's because some small emotions or bad emotions was calculated to the disaster or the monster come from one by one. So that's like a whole week or the whole month is depression time. So I think we need to try our best to overcome the bad emotions every second. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you. If you're saying that we have to confront all our emotions at once so that it will not build up for us not to have depression. Thank you.
Could you share an example that you do to overcome your negative emotions?
Yeah, like for example, I prepared for my group presentation and I have conflict with them because the main idea we are not the same. So I just put it away. So last 1 hour or this afternoon, I won't participate in this project now. So I'll do it tomorrow or later. After that, I have a better emotion, or take a deep breath, or have a big meal to make me cheer up to face the problem again. That's like a physical, you run away with it for a short time. Yeah.
I think it's a power pause, right, Luna? The power pause. You pause a little bit, and after that you go back to that. But to me, I think for me, just personally, I don't try my best to overcome the bad emotions. I just realize this. I acknowledge it, but I let it go. It's just like 1 second. Yes, a bad emotion, and let it go. Okay, so next. What's next? Yeah, it's my technique. I don't know it's what, but to me it's like that. Like I think I don't need to try. I just it's a bad emotion. I have something really evil into my mind. Okay, deep breath and I let it go. I think maybe it doesn't lose any energy because bad and good always together.
Yeah.
And when we go back to the podcast, Ethan Cross, who is a psychologist, actually differentiated managing emotion and suppressing emotion. So I don't know where you are there. I heard you said push away. And when you push away that emotion, it's a form of suppressing that emotion and not managing the emotion. Because managing emotions, based on the discussion of Ethan Cross and who's this? Dr. Laurie, they did mention that when you manage an emotion, you have to acknowledge and understand your emotion. Yeah. So, any more?
I think a very useful way to suppress or to manage emotion is to talk with someone you trust and to express your feeling. But it's not always so lucky to find someone to talk to. So for me, I think maybe suppressing is more useful, and I think we should find something that is really healing. Really, you can find your source of happiness whenever, whatever emotion state you are. Like for me, I like writing diaries, I like drawing, and when I'm doing this, I can forget everything else and I can focus on something. And recently I'm learning French, and I think it is also a way to just to forget those bad feelings. Anyway, the things we do to focus on something is the purpose is to keep everything going and not to interrupt it by the negative emotions, and I think this is a very useful way.
Yeah, I heard something interesting in your answer. You mentioned about talking to someone, and that was actually referred to by Cross as like social support. So you seek for social support from other people, maybe your friends, family members. But as you have said, not all of us can have that. And so what you are doing is actually another technique which was mentioned in the podcast, which is reframing or looking for other ways in order for us to process the emotion, which is your drawing or painting. Thank you for that sharing. So,
different from her, like I always do some short conversation with myself, and I like writing. I almost writing 2 to 3 pages, whole pages about my thoughts, and it's quite. It takes my half an hour to an hour, and I write out everything comes to my mind, and then I come back to the to my paper and figure out, okay, what about the thing that I always a lot, so I know where I are, so and then I know where I'm going.
Yeah, that's a great way as well of managing emotion.
Mentioned by Christina about managing emotions. I also heard of a very interesting saying is that emotion management is not about like not being unhappy. You need to manage your emotions by knowing why you are being unhappy. So you know the cause of being unhappy, then you know what you need to do to solve this problem. So sometimes even though you say like, okay, I go for running or whatever, but if there is a problem there is an issue there, it will not solve automatically after you come back from the running. So you still need to find a solutions to deal with your issue at that time. So if you are being unhappy, just let it be. Just be unhappy for a while, but still need to be calm and think for solutions for that. So yeah, don't feel bad about yourself when you're feeling unhappy. Like, I'm a terrible person, I'm feeling unhappy every day. Why am I this kind of like, negative person? Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was like, as was mentioned by Cross again, I always keep on referring back to him because his sharing was really great. And as a psychology graduate as well, I can resonate with the things that he mentioned. So it was like, as Stella has mentioned, it was important for us to acknowledge that there is that emotion, that negative emotion. We have to acknowledge that it is existing, and then after that, we have to understand why we have that. So, yes.
So I agree with Stella and so I think I agree with that managing emotions is more beneficial than suppressing our emotions, because as for my opinion, managing emotions is a positive way to our lives. That means we want to find some solutions, or we want to find some strategies to deal with difficulties or something in our lives. But suppressing our emotions, maybe sometimes we will be controlled by our emotions, or even be drawn into depressions all the time. We don't solve the problems, but we just depress ourselves. And managing emotions, like Vicky, that means everything. I forgot. I want to say.
It's okay. It's okay.
Maybe I think more and.
Yeah, you will come back.
Yeah, you will come back. Yeah, sure. Yeah, one good thing with what we heard from her is like we should always manage our emotions, not just suppress it because it might come back, right? Yes.
It comes to me. For me, I think managing emotions not only means it coexist with our emotions, whether bad or positive, but also means coexist with some difficulties which we can't change, or we can't. Yes, we can change now in life, but we want to find some positive ways to coexist with them. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Can I add a little bit of? I'm very excited to see how wise you guys are. So just to summarize some of the things that you said, some of the key terms that came up included coexisting with your emotions. When we say coexisting, I think it means anything that you think is negative. You decide how to live with it. Have you ever had the experience where you have a shirt that has a stain on it, and then you really want to clean it? You love that shirt. That's like your number one shirt, and you try to clean it, and no matter what you do, it's there, right? So how do you still keep wearing it with pride and love and the idea of it's okay, it's there. I coexist with it. It's part of my life. So what you're saying just now, what's your name? Luna. Yeah, so you mentioned something about putting it aside. I think it's very wise to say that you are aware that we should try not to build up the negative emotions, because the more you build it up, the more it becomes super taxing on you, and then it's harder to get it off. And then you have these little tricks of what to do every time so that it doesn't build up. It's not necessarily eliminating it, because it's not, like you said, you have conflicts with your group mates, but you cannot control them, right? So your strategy of putting it aside, in another words, just not to react to it, kind of like what Anne is saying, right? You take a pause, don't react to it. Sometimes when you react to something immediately, you tend to do impulsive actions, like you say the wrong things, you give the wrong face to other people, you hurt other people, and then you hurt other people afterwards, you feel guilty, and it just get into a loop. So I like that you are just putting it aside. Actually, you guys all have strategies of managing, right? Talking to someone, writing diaries, drawing, writing, all these are the strategies that you develop based on your interests. It's hard to say just to let it go. It's hard to let it go. You can play that song. Let it go, let it go. Right? That helps a little bit, but it's hard to just tell people, let it go now. I can't, right? So it's a good advice to just put it down but not let it go, right? It's the same. Let it be. I can't let it be, right? Some people relax. I can't relax, right? So then what do you do when you think you can't let it be? For something maybe you can, or maybe after some time you can, but right now I cannot. So then what do? Either you put it down for one moment, or you coexist with it, or use your strategies. Don't try to, because the word, maybe, I don't know if you agree with me, suppressing is negative. It sounds negative, right? Once you know, I'm suppressing it, it makes you feel even more stressed. The words that I hear from you guys just now was all quite negative, but we did ask you to share your worries. You're anxious, you're upset, you're nervous, you're stressed, right? But except you, I'm not stressed. Yeah, so I like, are you guys old enough? Do you guys like the movie Finding Dory, Finding Nemo? Where the fish just say, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. It's not easy to just keep swimming, but when you have more energy, you swim faster. When you have less energy, we call it coasting. You just go with the flow and don't force yourself too much. And then when you have more energy, and you swim more. But don't stop, right? If you can. If you need a break, take a break, but then come back. Just keep the momentum. But you guys all already have the strategy, so it's very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to continue with what you mentioned about suppressing as a negative emotion. It was indeed discussed as a negative emotion, and in fact, according to Cross, if you suppress your emotions, if you just ignore it, it will pile up, and then it will soon resurface, and it will come back, it will backfire. So he used the word resurface, and then during that time, that's the time that you will feel more depressed, more anxious, you will feel more fear and all those things. So thank you so much for sharing that, Miranda.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And also, I have another idea, because I got a lot of benefits from the episode. Actually, we have some solution to alleviate our stress sometimes. For example, we can take a step back when we see something unusual, when we confused with something. And that will give us a standing point to see something objectively. That can make our mind concise and clear. And another point is trying to build your safety, your safe spot, like CIA something. For your problem, I think you have a lot of choices, right? Yes. So sometimes immersing in your comfort zone is not a beauty. Yes. Just follow your heart. Your heart will navigate you to the right place. Yes.
Exit.
And the last point I want to share is beyond this episode. When I listen to this episode, there is a small clue that really inspired me a lot. When we discuss a lot about how could we manage our emotions, right? But there are a lot of companies, they are successfully specialized in constructing our emotions. Did you realize that sometimes? For example, when we enter in the 5-star hotels like the Hilton or the Rio sometimes, and they use the special perfume and the special decoration like the luxury crystal and the furniture, the piano in the singing hall. And sometimes you will feel, when you first time to be there, you will feel very nervous. But they use this decoration, try to manage your emotions, try to construct such an unreal atmosphere. You need to behave so gently, and you need to be polite. You need to say hello and say thank you formally. That's something very special, very special. I have to say, they are the masters trying to manipulate our emotions, and they did successfully. Yes.
So how can we apply that to our life?
Actually, we can also use the emotions correctly, try to get ourselves from some trouble. One of the ideas from the episode is put your loved pictures around yourself. Such as if you like cats or dogs, you can take a photo of your pet or something, and just stick that around you. When you feel nervous or confused or stressful, you can just look at your pet, your picture. It's so cute. Why I should have so angry about everything?
I have BTS everywhere.
A lot of things. Yes, there also a paper he mentioned. He wrote that in the Cell, I think it's very famous. When you when you feel angry or when you feel stressful, just try to touch your loved hand. That will release your stress.
Like left hand?
Your loved one's hand. Like your wife, like your husband, boyfriend.
Oh.
Yeah, somebody you loved. Yeah.
Can I do this?
Yeah, you love yourself. Yes.
Yes, it works actually.
Yeah. It called butterfly heart, right? Butterfly heart. Actually, your idea I think resonates with the chorus or like chorus. I know healing with the art. They have the chorus like that, and they told students that you need to create the space for yourself. Like you have the light, like in the candle here, and then like you have a pet, you have a flower, in the east, in the west, in the north, in the east, the room that you create a space for on yourself. Like healing room is kind of like that. I think it's kind of resonate with your idea. Yeah. And also, you told me about some like Hinton, like hotels. They have strategies to make gentle customer. But actually, in languages, some languages are really gentle. And if you speak the language, you will be so gentle, like Thai language and Japanese. Like you cannot quarrel, you cannot argue because you speak Thai. Kapuka is kind of like that, so gentle. Even you quarrel, you have argument, it's still gentle.
Yes.
But
yes,
Cantonese, I think it's different, right? Yeah, I think so.
One is that in the five-star hotels like the Hilton, they usually use the soft music, the gentle music. If you pay attention to that, they never use the rock music or pop music. Yes. They use the gentle music like the blues, the piano. Yeah, sometimes just peacefully. Try to let you calm, and then you will notice your behavior.
So
even you speak something loudly, it's not.
The same rule apply to actually a lot of businesses like McDonald's, right? Fast food restaurants, they use energetic music. If they do they have any music? Or they use red color, right? You eat faster, you go faster. Yes. Yellow, higher mood. So that means we can look into the kind of mood that we want to create an ambience that is suitable for us. What is more relaxing color for you? Or you can Google it and see what colors are more relaxing, right? Probably not red. I don't know. Blue and green, white, or I don't know. So it's the same idea. Yeah.
What that occurs to me that I saw an opinion. In fact, it's not about emotions, but I think it's helpful in our discussion that we can set a trigger to begin with something. Like in this circumstance, we can allow us to release our emotions for a while, or maybe 10 minutes or 30 minutes. Like Ethan, he said his grandma every week will allow herself to memory or something, and we can use specific perfumes or music or just some regular works like writing or something. That means we should put ourselves back to our lives, and we should do the reality works and so on. I think that's a structured suggestion.
Thank you so much. So it's really a great discussion, and it's wonderful listening to everyone's insights and also your experiences and your takeaways from the podcast. That also leads us to another discussion question. So,
Before we start, I still want to say that the question one actually is about the emotional management. And jump to the question two, it's more focused on the solutions, how we deal with this kind of negative emotion. Now, a little bit of same takeaway discussion. I heard about some solutions, how we deal with and manage our emotion. So I would like particularly invite group one members to share your strategy to deal with this kind of emotion. Like,
I think when we have the emotion is negative, just facing it, not suppressing. When you want to cry, just find a safety place, just cry, or find someone who you are trust, just talk to them. That's my opinion.
And I remember you mentioned about the attachment and detachment.
Yeah, it's like when you're in an attachment shape, this attachment maybe become a control. Like you want to your partner put in the equal efforts as you, so maybe it's very make your partner very uncomfortable, and you will have some struggle or conflict. So it's not a good situation for you and your partner. And also have some solution about that. It's like you need to check in your emotion all the times. Maybe I think many emotions come out without reason. When you wake up in the morning, you don't feel the same emotion as yesterday, right? Maybe you feel happy or you feel upset. Maybe it's just because you don't have a good night. So you can find your emotion without reason, and you don't need to blame yourself. Just make it help. You just need to realize there and talk with your partners. Don't hurt each other.
Thanks for sharing. Also, we discussed about a lot of solutions and how to deal with our emotion. I think we have different ways to deal with our emotion. Are you kind of a reactive person, or are you someone who always contemplate what to do next? Or sometimes you just maybe talk through all your suffering. I just spread that to everybody. Or sometimes we choose to face them by ourselves physically. Right, we have different ways, but what matters here is you need to find one that you enjoy, that can help you quickly recover from those kind of negative things, right?
Or try many ones. Try different ones. Write it down, right? Like you change your clothes, you can change your strategies. Yeah. If you guys have messages that you want to share with our tutors, you can write text messages and share with them. I'm sure they will appreciate it.
Hi guys, if you still remember, this is a book that I also embedded in our first meeting. This is how the project run, and logistics, the time, what you need to do here. But now, after 21 days, this is something you have accomplished now. So I would say a big thank you to all our Podtopia members for your dedication, for your insights, and also for your sharing. And as mentioned many times on our handout, we hope that Podtopia and also the Writing Center to be a place where you will feel quite comfortable to share your idea, to share your insights with all. And I hope that across the 21 days, you not only improve your listening and communication skills, but also you cultivate a new habit, podcast. It will be the end of the 21-day challenge, but I still think that is a good starting point to continue listening the podcast.
Thank you all, and that's all for this episode. Just choose the best way to get rid of the negative and bad emotions, boost the self-trusting, and search for emotional compatibility. This may be the end of our challenge, but I do hope it's just the start of your podcast journey. Keep listening and keep learning and keep sharing your voices. Thank you once again, and I will see how podcasts continue to shape your perspectives.